Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of my Road to 500 Mil from Slayer series. And I have to break it to you guys, I have to spoil it. This is the final episode in this series. I'm doing that just so if someone misses this episode or something, they know that I'm done and they can go watch the final episode. But either way, let's just go straight into it. To start off, I got Edemure right away, and I got like 240, so that was like one of the higher amounts I've ever had without extending them. And that's why it's 90 minutes. Usually it's around 75, but I had such a large amount. That's why it's 15 minutes longer. Again, I'm still not banking the ashes. And I forgot to do the ectoplasmator here. It would have definitely helped because I would have gotten free prayer experience from this. But I totally forgot this entire episode. But either way, maybe whenever I do more Edemure later in the future, I will definitely use that. And considering I still needed like 80 mil to finish the series, I was really hoping I could get a few blood shards this episode. And speaking of that, I actually did get a blood shard this task, and I instantly sold that for 21.1 mil, which is my highest price I've ever sold it at. And that was amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to finish it this episode if I get, another or two or whatever. But I moved on to another task, and I actually got Edemure back-to-back without skipping, so that was kind of funny. That actually is possible if you have them preferred, but I did end up getting another blood shard as well. So I sold that for 21.2 mil, which is 100k more than the other one, and I sold it only an hour after the first one. So right there, I'm already up 42 mil, plus maybe 5 mil, whatever. Probably 5 mil just in regular drops of the two tasks. I'm almost at 50 mil in two tasks. Holy shit. Moving away from the Edemure, I got some Muspa, which I haven't had in, I think, 2 episodes, but they're very nice tasks. They're very AFK, very good experience, as you can see, 200k Slayer per hour and 600k combat per hour. That's one of the best tasks. I know Irits are the same combat experience per hour, but they're 20k Slayer an hour less than these. Overall, I love Muspa. After that, I got Ascensions task, which I do at the Gladiite. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is the best task I think I've ever had, and I was extremely lucky here. So in only 130 kills, I got 5 keys. And you're seeing on screen, I got a Secundus, a Primus, a Sextus, a Secundus again, and a Cordis. So that is just amazing. 5 keys in just 130 kills. That is pretty insane. And I believe that task alone, I made 4 mil. So this whole entire episode, I'm just getting extremely lucky. And, I am definitely going to finish it. On 275, I got Dark Beasts, which I really do not like. They're not my favorite anymore. I get really bored with doing them. But anyways, I did change how I did Dark Beasts. I started doing magic, and it's just slightly better, according to my friends. And I feel like it is probably better because the Dragonfire is AoE, and it does hit a few Dark Beasts every now and then. But, I just don't really like this task. It's just not fun for me. And then I got Celestials, which I have really enjoying recently. They're very good experience, very good combat experience as well. And not to mention, you do have a lot of chances of rare drops, the Dragon Rider equipment, Visages, the Celestial Hand Wraps. There's a lot of chances of you getting a rare drop on top of the really good money that you're already making. And speaking of drops, I did get a Dragon Rider cape, which is about 300k, and I think it only sells for 250, something like that. But still, that's a nice drop. It's always cool to get a Dragon Rider equipment piece. And then because I'm obsessed with Edemure, I got another task of Edemure, and this time it was about the same amount as the second task today. And I got kind of trolled in the beginning, so right there I got a beam, and I didn't know if it was blood shard or not. It was a very small beam, so I'm like, what's going on? So I thought it was a blood shard at first, and then I right-clicked it, and it happened to be rune plates, so I knew it was a rare drop table of rare rune plates, and it turned out to be 18, which is 700 something K. So that was a little disappointing, because I'm like, holy shit, did I get a blood shard? Because it was very early in the task, and then it turned out to be just, that 700k, but I really can't complain. That's 700k in just one drop. That's very good. And honestly, I've been super lucky with blood shards, as you guys can see. And speaking of blood shards, I did get one this task, and it was close to the end. I think 50 kills left and when I got it. And I was obviously freaking out. That's 3 blood shards in this episode. And I sold it for 17.3 because the time between these Edemure tasks were a week or something, and something probably happened to the blood shard market and made it go down a lot more. So, still 17 mil is amazing. And with that drop, it kind of gives me more wiggle room with the 500 mil at the end. But anyway, after that, I got Ganodermic Beasts, which I extend them now. So I got another, 20% of them. It increases the time about 5 minutes or so. So that's why they're about 25 minutes. But overall, they're very good just all around. It's about a mil, 1.5 mil per task. They're enjoyable. They're very short. And speaking of short tasks, I got automatons after that, which nothing happened. I didn't get any gloves or anything, but of course they're just a really quick, easy task, kind of a breather after all those Edemu. And then I returned to the Gladii for about the same amount, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably just going to go dry because I just got 5 keys earlier. And then I got another Secundus within like 20 kills. So that does mean I got about 6 keys, pretty much 6 keys, and 150 kills. I don't think I'm ever going to be that lucky again at Ascensions, and I don't think I've ever been lucky at Ascensions like that. I mean, the drop rate's like 1 in 64, and I got 6 in only 150. That's pretty amazing. Moving on, I got elves after that, and in this task, I did finish a loot video, which I will be uploading within probably a week. You know, I love elves. They're pretty good overall. Their Slayer experience is one of the best in my series. Combat experience is kind of lacking in comparison, but I mean, you make 2-3 mil an hour just from these guys. So overall, it's pretty awesome. And then I returned to automatons again, just for another breather task. I forgot to mention the super compost that you get here is actually very expensive right now. They're like 800 to 1,000 each. So I mean, you get 15 per drop. That's like a 14k drop, and you get it multiple times in the trip. So you know, it does add up. Oils, which took only like 20 minutes. And I know I should probably do them at the Curdell dungeon, but I do them in the Slayer Tower mainly because I get the contract money at the end, and I also get the 10% Slayer XP bonus from wearing the Mauritania legs. So that's the only reason I do it there, if you're wondering. And I don't know, they're fun. They're not the best, but I mean, they're doable. They're not like Dark Beasts where I just want to like jump off a bridge kind of thing. And then the second to the last task, I got Shadow Creatures, which I have not had in a long time. And something very cool happened in this task. So let me explain. Each shadow has a chance of dropping like a dark item, and it's like a part of a pet, and each one has a different drop rate. So the little guys, the truthful ones, have a 1 in 1,000 drop rate of dropping their respective dark piece. And then the blissful, which were the middle ones, they have a 1 in 2,000 drop rate, and then the big ones have a 1 in 3,000 drop rate. So it's kind of weird that the harder ones have a harder drop rate if you think about it. So it's kind of weird that way. If I read the stats correctly, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. But I don't really kill that many blissfuls. I usually just focus on the manifests, which are the big ones. And I actually got a dark mind piece, which is the blissful, drop 1 in 2,000. So that was pretty epic. I got a beam. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it happened to be that piece. So that's fantastic. I mean, now I'm like 1/3 to the penny pet, which is like you get a shadow guy following you. Not that I really want that. It's just kind of cool if I ever end up going for that. And then the final task of the series, guys. I just had a feeling it was going to be Muspa. I mean, they're very good. I don't know. They're super AFK, like I've been saying. If you guys have ever done Muspa, you probably understand where I'm coming from. But there you go, guys. That is the end of the Slayer series. Let's go into the slides and see my final stats and final drops and the final price check. And if you're still watching, don't forget to watch the ending where I discuss a poll that's going to be going on for this series. So here we are with the stats, and of course we're adding 15 tasks. I added like maybe 12 skips, something like that. And I also almost hit 9,000 points, so that's kind of cool. I did die twice, and that was because I uber AFK'd at Edemu. If you guys were watching me on stream, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I ended up with 18 million Slayer. 18 million Slayer, guys, in 151 hours, and then all that other combat experience. So I calculated it out. I got an average of 119,200 experience in Slayer per hour. And that's pretty nice for how I wasn't power slaying and I was mainly doing it for money. That is pretty amazing, guys. So I'm happy that we are done, and I got 18 million Slayer from this series since August. That is spectacular. And then the last drops page. First off, we did reach 10,000 Crimsons. That was like an end goal of my series, so it's nice that I got that along with ending the series. But the other charms pretty nice, like 3,500 blues. Like you'd expect maybe a little bit more, but then you realize, Slayer creatures aren't the greatest for blues. It's mainly for bossing. I did add the 3 blood shards, which, oh my god, that's crazy. On top of that, I got 6 of the Ascension keys as well. So that's the end for the stats and drops. Let's go into the selling of the tab. So here we are. I'm just going to be speeding through me selling my tab. And how I knew I was done with the series, once I finished the last task, I price checked, and it came out to be like 512 mil. So that's a little bit more than 500 mil, but then you have to also consider the fact that if I sold all the loot, I might not get all 100% of it. I mean, a lot of things I have to sell for way under because they just don't sell, but some other items are a lot higher. So, I mean, it's kind of like that. So I just wanted to be a little bit higher than 500 mil price check when I finished the series. And it's kind of good that I got all those blood shards because it kind of made me have a 12 mil window for what I'm selling. So a lot of the items, as you guys can see, just are not selling for whatever price I put. It's kind of ridiculous. Some items, like my dark arrowheads, for example, just sold for like 1 GP, and I couldn't do anything about it. And I know I shouldn't have been super impatient. I should have just waited it out. But when you're recording a video, you don't want to be like, okay, let's record my selling and then come back 2 hours and record again. It's kind of annoying when it comes to recording, but it's fine. But it's fine. Just remember that I started off the selling at 157 mil cash, and most of that was from the blood shards, but like another 12 mil or so was just from coin drops from various monsters in this entire series. So all my items in my tab were about 300 and whatever, 5 mil, something like that. So, I ended up selling everything, and here we are at the end. Look at that. We are done. We are done. That is 502 mil. So everything sold for 10 mil under the the price check, and that's kind of expected. That's just how the markets work. I don't really know what I'm going to be spending this on, so I mean, if you want to suggest in the comments what I should do with this money, and you just got to know that I have all tier 90s. I have most of my gear. I'm pretty good with gear and stuff. You don't have to suggest that, but if you guys want to see something else that I spend my money on, I would love some suggestions. But now that we're done with the Slayer series, I know a lot of you enjoyed me slaying for content and stuff. So I wanted to make a poll in the description. It's a straw poll, so go down there and vote. But let me explain the options first. So there's 3 options. There's one option right away that just don't slay for videos at all. You're done. I mean, you did the Slayer series. You don't need to make any more videos for us. There you go. That's one option if you don't want to see any more Slayer videos from me. And then another is continue like a road to 120 Slayer that I update maybe every 3 weeks to a month, every time I get like a decent amount of experience and progress, and just do that with my current slides and start everything from 0, because I'm done with this series. Just start from 0 on all the numbers and just use the same slides. That's an option. Or I can do a road to 120 and make brand new slides, kind of like this, not 100%, but make brand new slides so it's a little different from this series, but also start at 0 for the numbers. And if you want to see one of those things, then go down and vote. I would greatly appreciate it. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the support I've gotten throughout this series. We went 19 episodes, extremely good feedback on every single one. You guys enjoyed it. Everyone was like, hey, when's your next Slayer episode? It really pushed me to slay, and it was just really nice to see that a lot of people enjoyed it as well. So I'm just glad I am done with another epic series like this. I've done all the Barrows items. I've done 1,000 Corp. I've done 1,000 QBD on series. I've done 500 mil from Slayer. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And thank you for enjoying this series for so long. And just remember, there's going to be a lot more to come in the future. So I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it is, and have a good day.